Oh, hey, welcome back. This is Wine a Bit with Simon. I'm Simon, and I'm joined today by my lovely wife, Corinna.
Hello there.
Hi, welcome to the table.
Well, thank you, Simon.
How are you feeling about this nonsense?
I feel like it's pretty amazing. I
Is
love
it
that
really?
you're doing this. Yeah.
I mean, it took you starting a podcast for me to start a podcast, so just let's talk about spheres of
Let's
influence.
just talk about who's winning on podcasts.
Absolutely. You have 30-something episodes, I believe.
So,
And I have one,
100%
and we're in the
winning.
middle of episode 2, so yes, you are definitely
Dear
winning.
Simon's listeners, if you want to listen to my podcast, Too Cool Club Chronicles, we've got 33 episodes that you can hear on Spotify or Apple.
Yeah, so right away, right out of the gate, just like shouting out your own podcast before you've even, shared an ounce of content on mine, which is brilliant. Okay, so now all the dogs are inside.
Yes, they are.
And we can actually get to the meat of the matter. So I have Corinna on the show today for a couple of reasons. One is we were at Costco today. We found what I believe is a really nice bottle of Sancerre. So we're going to be tasting that, talk about the wine. And the main reason I really want to bring Corinna on is Corinna has a friendship that she has maintained since she was a junior in college, I believe.
Yep.
Is that correct?
Yep.
We hear a lot today about the importance of healthy and productive adult relationships, and Corinna and Tara have managed to maintain it. So I really wanted to talk to her about that. So there we are. But let's get to the wine. So what we're enjoying today is a Sancerre. It is called, the producer is La Garrenne. They're from the Loire Valley, which is in France. The wine is 100% Sauvignon Blanc, but the winemaker is a 6th-generation Sancerre producer. So he has been, his family's been making this kind of wine for like 6 generations, right? Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously it's a white. Corinna, you've been into the white wines lately more so than the reds. Do you want to talk about that journey a little bit? Like what's changed your mind on that?
Well, honestly, I mean, if we want to dive deep into this world where I've had to go from reds to white, a lot of it is just the chemical imbalance that is happening in my own body. Some people call it menopause. Other people ignore it. But my body, for some reason, has been rejecting reds. Like I used to love a good red. And I still do. And so I'm drinking them, but less frequently. And I've shifted over to Chardonnays and a good Pinot Grigio. And I absolutely love the freshness that both of those bring me. And I'm happy to be sharing this bottle with you.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited that you're here and actually willing to do this with me because I'm clearly copying everything that you're doing. So, all right, well, let's have a sip and let's talk about... Yeah, don't... Cheers. Oh, that's going to sound good.
So it's interesting. It's very light.
Yeah.
Which we like.
So it's a Sauvignon Blanc, right? So the grape is Sauvignon Blanc, and I know you're not a huge fan of the Sauvignon Blanc.
Well, this one's fun.
That's like that Midwest porch pounder. I think this has got a bit more character than that.
I love it when you call it a porch pounder.
Oh, like, yeah.
Can you explain to your fans why you call it a porch pounder?
A porch pounder is a white wine that you make hella cold and you can just destroy. You can drink like all day.
Yeah.
Or not even all day. You start in the morning, right? But it's a good bright.
This is an 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
8 a.m. to a sleepy time. So I think this one has a bit more character than a typical Sauvignon Blanc because it's prepared. It's a Sancerre, which means something apparently. So let me read. I want to read the winemaker's tasting notes. That's the thing that we do here on Wine a Bit.
Ooh.
And I want to hear what you think of your experience relative to this. This blend of 100% Sauvignon Blanc offers you a memorable moment of conviviality, a delicate and complex Sancerre with a great depth of fruit, boisterous green aromatics. Let's take a moment to have a smell. Are you going to cover it? Spin it and cover it. Luli would be proud. Luli would be proud.
I would. I smell some greens.
Green arrow. Often found in Sauvignon Blanc have been skillfully restrained, allowing fruity layers of green apple and lemon to show through. I was definitely getting some green apple.
I feel the green apple the most. I'm trying to... Hold on, let me swoosh.
Okay, you keep doing this. I want to read the rest of this because I feel like entering into a region of these tasting notes that is going to get you very excited.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
Okay.
This wine comes from the Verdini region at the heart of goat cheese country. So is ideal with a soft, tangy croton, which I believe is a cheese.
A croissant?
I wish.
Yeah.
Also great with a delicate flat fish.
No, I hate flat fishes.
What is a flat fish?
Oh, they're
place?
hammered.
I just hammer. It's like a fish that somebody's been piarting. Like a fish that somebody's been smashing down. I love that. Yeah, trust the Gorton's fisherman. But in a caper sauce.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, crafted by Laurent Leverdy, a 6th generation Sancerre winemaker.
All right.
So, definitely got the green apple. Did you get any lemon?
After my second swoosh,
Yeah.
I got a little bit of lemon on the nose, but not in the taste.
Oh, look at that! So just for spring break of this year, we were blessed.
Corinna learned something.
We were blessed because Corinna learned something. We were blessed to go. We went to Italy, and we were in Florence for a week. And one of the days, we went wine tasting with our whole crew. And the guy who led the wine tasting, the guy who led the wine tasting was a tremendous conversationalist. But he did give us this little trick about when you swirl the wine on the table to smell it, swirl it, cover it, swirl it again, and then smell it again, and you get all these different notes. And Corinna has adopted this wholeheartedly, which I love, which I think is great.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I believe it, as I think it tastes different once you do the swirl. So not only on the nose, but also on the tip of the tongue.
So the thing that I picked up, and this was several years ago. Some of my friends and I went down to Louisville, Kentucky, and we did a couple of days on the Bourbon Trail. Mm-hmm. And we went to the Jim Beam distillery, and one of the things the guy told us is it was the idea of the Kentucky chew, where you actually try to chew. It's not swishing back and forth. You kind of chew the liquid, which is hard because you don't want to be drooling it everywhere.
It's a messy event.
It can get messy. I mean, the more whiskey tastings you do, the messier the Kentucky chew gets. But so I employed that at the winery in Italy, and it worked really well. I found I was getting some of the more complex notes that Luli was telling us about, which I wasn't getting. And
you were doing that technique while I was adopting his other suggestion, which was to spit it through the tops of your teeth.
Yeah.
If you can hear that, that's kind of what you were doing. And I appreciated that, but that too can get really messy, especially if your kids are sitting across from you and you're trying to spit them with wine.
And your kids were sitting across from you. So
oh, God,
that was,
I trying to spit them with
wine? You were spitting wine on them.
No.
I mean, not to dwell too much on the Italy trip, but we drank a lot of red wine that week. Mm-hmm. And I felt amazing.
Yeah.
Every morning I woke up and felt amazing, and we've talked about this a little bit. Why? Well, why do we feel amazing?
Because the wine there is a little bit more pure than the wine here in the United States of America.
Yep.
Where we like to add a little bit of sweetness and maybe put extra sugars and things that necessarily do not belong in wine. So I feel like we say this a lot about not just the food or the wine, but also the food. Everything was given to us very pure and without a lot of added BS.
Preservatives, right? It's the preservatives that we were missing.
Yeah.
And
we did not wake up with the hangover. We woke up with hey, let's go on a run. No, we didn't do that either. Just kidding.
A lot of steps were taken.
We walked a shit ton.
What do you think? So overall, this was given a 91 by Wine Enthusiast. Mm-hmm. Okay, to be fair, this was not the wine that I had really wanted to bring to the table tonight. Okay. I had another one in mind for you. It was one of those buttery Chardonnays that you've become such a big fan of. Unfortunately, my trip to Binny's beverage distributor, got sidetracked when I ended up going to the beer shop instead. So
things happen.
We ended up picking this up, but it got 91 points from Wine Enthusiast.
Super cute rabbit on the label
with the little red nose too. The label art is
Here's what I think about this. It's fine. It's a fine wine. It's fine. Okay. And we talk a lot. You especially have taught me the word fine. In this way of if it's fine, it's not necessarily great. It's not necessarily awful, but it's just fine.
Yes.
How are you? I'm fine.
There's a level of okay. So as whites go, so I definitely much prefer red wines to white wines. I always listen. We should talk about the Grammy test, right? So, Mom,
Grammy
if you're listening, if you ever listen,
mother-in-law.
Would you pour this for my mom?
Yes.
You would. I would too. I would too. I agree. And I think this is.
I think she'd be
and
okay
I think
with
she
it.
would be okay with it. It's fine.
She would have a glass and then we would move on. This is not something you're going to have a whole bottle of with her.
There's a reason that they bring wine to the house when they come for dinner. And you know what? Not looking that gift horse in the mouth at all.
Never.
Yes. Sometimes having a low bar is one of the greatest assets in life. Okay. All right. So that's the wine. So we agree. It's good. It's not blowing our doors off. It's definitely, I think it's a little different than what you've been into of late.
Yeah, but I will also say, like, I don't hate it.
Oh, that's right. Straight to the bottle. Have it. Yeah. So I think next time, if you're ever on the podcast again, if there is even another episode,
Crossed.
yeah, because we're going to be recording it right here at this table, and you're going to have to sit there silently.
I hate being quiet.
I know. So.
Oh.
Yes, please.
Ahead.
Oh no,
sorry.
go on. No, you're about to say something. You're on the brink of genius.
Well,
I want
no.
it. Have it. Go on.
It all had to do with my theme song. I'm not going to sing it now.
Oh yeah, you did come up with a theme song.
Two glasses and a bottle of wine. Okay, that's it.
There was so much more than that first time through. So
I'm trying to be cool.
We're gonna have to find some musicians and actually you give them the lyrics. We'll set it to music. We'll have Bandcamp work on it because most of Bandcamp is going to be on this at some point if I have my way.
I'll work on it with the Joe.
All right. So as I mentioned at the top, one of the reasons that I thought would be really interesting to talk to you is because we read a lot these days as adults. And especially as men, which you're not. You are not a man. I'm sort of a man. I'm a man, not much of one.
Fucking claim it, man.
But the importance of maintaining positive friendships as an adult, and how hard that is, and how important, but also how important it is for our mental health. And I know we're both Gen X, and we don't really we don't like to talk about mental health out loud. Well,
but our kids do.
Yeah, right. Yeah, boy, do they ever. But so, and one of the first relationships that wasn't either the girls, or Josh, your ex-husband, that I was exposed to was Tara. Right?
Yeah.
And I remember we were dating. It was early days, and Tara and her family were coming to visit. Tara and the boys. I think it was just Mason and Cameron at that point.
Natalie, I think.
Was Natalie there as a baby?
She was a
little
2-year-old.
tiny little kid.
Yeah.
And I was basically told, okay, you can come and say hi, but then you sort of need to make yourself scarce for the weekend because this is my Tara time. And we had established, we were dating.
Yeah.
And I want to rewind, and I talked about this earlier. I want to rewind to our very first date, right?
Yeah.
We knew each other. We knew of each other for some time. We knew each other from the softball team and from socializing in that kind of casual way for a while.
Yeah.
And then when we finally were we should probably just go on a date and figure out if there's anything here. And the very first thing, we talked about this a bit earlier. What were some of the first things? We were on our first official date. Right at Fat Duck Grill in Forest Park.
We had first official interview.
We had a time limit because you had to pick the girls up from the train. Right, we had 45 minutes. I think was what our time limit was. And what did we talk about? In the first 10 minutes, what did we talk about?
We truly talked about, is this possible to go to the next steps? We were interviewing each other more than we were just enjoying each other's company. Why the fuck are we here? Because for the most part, it was. You'd been divorced, I'd been divorced, we were both single parenting it. And what does the next relationship mean? You dated a bit before me, I dated a bit before you after that, breakup, or the divorce. And I think we were both at that same place where we were tired of the dating part. So let's see how serious we are. Do you want to take this all the way? And if, what does that mean to you? are we actually dating? Are we just messing around? Or are we serious about this? You know, like, do you see yourself getting married again? Do you see yourself having kids? Both of us crossed our fingers, said no. We do not want to have other kids. Simon has 3, I have 2. And,
so
you know,
kids.
we were very, very happy with our children that we were raising. But how do we bring this together? And I think that was just super important for both of us.
It's a wild idea, right? Like getting those questions. Like you normally, like, so again, we sort of knew each other.
Yeah.
We had spent social time together as part of the softball.
We
as part
kind of did, but
Bowling
honestly,
for
like
Beers.
all of it was, yeah. So we had this co-ed softball team that we were playing on, Bowling for Beers. And our good friends, you know, I was playing on the team probably a couple of years before they brought you into the team. And we were, you know, friends with all of these families together, but then all of a sudden, you know, like our worlds were colliding a little bit and we were being introduced together. You were already friends with the Cranes and I had been friends with the Cranes and Gutierrez's and yada yada. And then we started playing softball together. I'm like, that guy is fucking hilarious. Like, that was my favorite thing about you is how funny you were. And
you're saying it wasn't my softball prowess?
I will say, you being a pitcher, there was one time I was a catcher, you were pitching, and every single pitch you were just like making such a smart ass comment. I was dying. Like I was laughing so hard, and you know, I'm a sucker for humor. And somebody that has a good sense of humor, I'm just like done. So that brought us to having coffee together, if you remember first. And we started chatting then and slowly started to get to know each other. Yeah. Because, we knew of each other. Our kids have gone to the same school, but we didn't know each other.
Okay, so flash forward. We've been dating now. We're serious. I think we're at this point, I think we're exclusive.
Wait, when?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, hopefully at least now. And so Tara and Cameron Mason and Natalie were coming to visit.
Yeah.
And you basically were like, you can come meet them, but we're like, then you just need to I need my Tara.
And
I need my Tara.
Watch the dogs, and we're gonna be.
And also, yes, you need to sit for my dog sit for me over the weekend, but please fuck off for a little bit and then come back and dog sit for me.
Yeah.
So, and that's when I first realized, that was my first realization, like how important this relationship was to you, right? So you guys met in college. You became fast friends very quickly out of a mutual sense of weirdness, I think is the story. But what blows my mind about this relationship is, okay, so you're here in the Chicago area. Mm-hmm. You met Tara in Oregon. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. You have since lived in Alaska, Oregon, Arizona, Chicago. Yeah. She has been in Alaska pretty much the whole time.
Yeah.
And yet...
What a dick. She has a towards me? God, I hate her. Just kidding.
I mean, I get it. I totally get it. I only had to do that 110K with her to understand like, how great she is. But no, so like, talk to me. Like, I want you to talk me through, like, 'cause I know you guys have a system for how you maintain closeness.
Of course.
Do you want to talk about it? Can you tell me about it? Is that cool? Or is that a bit too personal?
There's a lot of secret codes, secret language.
A lot of secret codes.
I'm totally kidding.
But what's the basis of it is...
I will say, like, you read this on every single Hallmark card, but if there is a friendship that's worth fighting for, you're going to fight for it. And it doesn't matter what it takes, what era it is. We started in, God, whatever the fuck year that was, 94 maybe, when we graduated from college. And she moved from Ashland, Oregon, back up to Juneau, Alaska. And my heart has never been that broken. And I'm afraid to say no man has ever shattered me the way that I ever felt when she moved away. It was so hard. You're not going to move.
I just put my hand up. I don't want to interrupt you, but I do want to interject. I've seen the pictures. Like, you have the photos of, like, the two of you just absolutely bereft.
We were sobbing. It was strange. I mean, I never felt a friendship like this, and I have amazing, great friends from high school, but Tara is my soulmate, and, you know.
How long have you known her at that point?
We had been friends for 2 years.
That's crazy, right? Yeah. So, like, you were, like, instantly...
We met... A couple of different times. I was living with her ex-boyfriend.
Yes,
So
you
I
were.
answered an ad. Roommates wanted. It was a couple, and this guy, Eric, who happened to be her ex-boyfriend. I didn't know her at all at that time. And her and I eventually met. Like, that chick is cool. And she was like secretly thinking that the same thing about me. Like, we overheard each other. And we ended up playing again on a softball team. Softball, man, is my jam, I guess.
It's the glue.
And our team was practicing, but it started raining, and everybody left except for Tara and I. And we were just like, let's play in the rain. And we went to 7-Eleven and we got all these candies. And then we were just like practicing sliding and just fucking around on the softball field and just having so much fun together. It's like when you meet somebody that wants to be that doesn't want to be, that just is your level of fun and crazy and silly. And like, we just kept meeting on that kind of level, and it just kept building and building and building. And then all of a sudden we were kind of exclusively our own person, and we were just doing all of our things together and meeting up with friends. But it was like we would start together and then meet with everybody else. But we really cherished time together. And because our time together was the best time. Like, we would have the funnest. We would she's so smart. So we'd have great conversations, but we'd also have a lot of fun together. Yeah. So when she moved back up to Alaska, I felt my world was upside down.
How did you maintain? So that's the real question.
I'm
Like, how
so
did you?
sorry. I'm trying to get to that.
Brilliant.
So
How did you maintain this?
What we started writing letters. So
like physical
letters,
pen and paper, because this is
and paper.
1994, right?
Yep.
So yeah.
So we would make it silly. Like, I would get a magazine, like a Self magazine or Glamour magazine, and write notes in it and just send her that. And she would do something silly. And so we just kind of did that for a year and maintained this friendship this way. It was probably for a year and a half. And then, like, I'm going to move up there. Like, I was working, I had graduated from college. I was working for, a company. It was a magazine, Golf and Sport or whatever. It didn't really matter. And so at that time, I was ready to do something different, and told my parents, leaving Medford, Oregon, Central Point, Oregon, and moving up to Juneau, Alaska. So I packed 2 ginormous bags and I moved up there. And so that was the first time her and I lived in the same place for 2.5 years. And it was fabulous. Every morning I would go to my job. I was working at a radio station. It's a different story, different podcast.
Oh, yeah.
So, I'd start the morning calling her line at work, and we would talk for the first 15 minutes of both of our days. And then we would either have coffee together, lunch together, or we would meet up back at the place that we were staying together. And so we had those years together, which was amazing. Then I moved down to Phoenix, Arizona.
Yep.
And she had her first kid. I flew back up, and we just kept working on it. Like, at that point, she started her family. I hadn't had one yet. I was married. She was married, had her first child.
Yep.
And so her world was like taking off in this place, and mine was going in this place. But we kept talking. We called every day.
You talked on the phone every day.
We talked on the phone every day. And then we moved from that, so when I was down in Arizona, to slow emails. And I say slow emails because it wasn't as fast as it is now.
Wait, no, hold on. What do you mean by slow emails? Please tell me. Like,
we
what?
emailed each other maybe once a week.
Okay.
And
okay.
Planning trips together. So she came down to Arizona. I would go up to Juneau. But we did this maybe once or twice a year.
And the letters were gone. The handwritten were gone. But you're still okay.
So her brother actually came and lived with us, like me and my ex-husband. Like, he came and stayed with us for a while. Thad did. Like, he lived with us for a little while. He was going to school with us in when we were living in Arizona. So we were such a big part of each other's lives, and her parents, there was just so much.
Yeah.
So we took care of each other. Like, we just knew how to do it, and we just knew that we were always each other's person. It didn't matter how we were communicating, if it was once a month or once every 3 months. we were fine, you know, and we just stayed connected. And those little moments in life just kept happening. You know, she had Mason, then I had Sydney, then she had Cameron, then I had Olivia, and we had divorces, you know?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of stuff happened. Her and I, in my opinion, we're the strongest relationship I've ever had. So
Don't make that. I know you're pointing at me, making a face. I totally. I got over my insecurity about all this.
Okay,
like,
but she's just been there, and we just know each other, and that's
so what.
Good
So
thing.
you talked about slow emails. What's the email cadence now?
So what we have done, and I don't even know when this started, but when I pass away, somebody is going to have some really good reading. We started emailing each other kind of on a daily basis, like you would have a conversation with a friend in a coffee shop.
Yep.
So Monday morning, I always start it because I'm in the early time zone.
Yep.
And it's, here's what I did over the weekend. Here's blah, 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 bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. This kid is doing this, blah, 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 this relationship. So that would start Monday. Then she would answer Monday afternoon. So that would be like my lunchtime reading. Then Tuesday morning, I answer that. Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday. So we do that all week long. So that's our conversation, Monday through Friday conversation. During the weekend, if something important happens, we'll text each other. But for the most part, it's waiting until, you know, Monday, how was your weekend? Mm-hmm. And we start all over again. And we have done that, I would say, for 10 years, maybe longer. Somehow, we just continue to find this way to stay connected and, you know, reach out to each other. You want to get that guy?
Keep going.
Oh, okay. It's really cool. And I trust her with everything. And, you know, we had a couple of plot lines where, you know, we've had a couple of fights in our lives, but very rare do they happen. I think the one thing that you know about a true friend is they're going to tell you the truth in the hard times as well as the good times. Like, do these pants make me look fat? Yes.
Is that a hard truth?
Are you kidding me?
Is that a hard truth?
No. The hard truth is you know, like when somebody sees you for who you are and tells you maybe this wasn't the right thing for you, being honest in a friendship is really hard.
Is that happening over email, or is that happening phone call, text? Like, it's just whatever. Like, whenever you feel the need to call each other out, you do it.
Yep. It truly depends on what your definition of best friend is. And every person has their own needs, I think, and their own definition of what that is. To me, Tira is everything. You know, she knows me probably better than anybody, and we don't talk very often on the phone. It's so strange. And I know we could do that now, but I know if she calls me or if I call her, it's pretty fucking serious. Yeah. And so anytime I see her, if she calls.
Yeah, of course. It's an instant pickup.
Yeah.
I get that.
It's an instant pickup, and it's also like, oh God, something is...
Has she ever called for like, have you ever called each other for like amazing news? Or is it always like, I'm in crisis, I need you?
I think when we were pregnant, like when we had a baby, here's something cool, but not often. Yeah, it's, you know, like everything gets handled over the email. And what's wonderful is because it's so day to day that when we do see each other, which is usually 2 or 3 times a year, we can just pick up no matter what. It's like, oh yeah, so how was last week? And you had book club and da 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 da, and how's this and how's that. We know everything that's going on with each other's lives, and we don't skip a beat.
So I know you also have good friends here where we live outside Chicago, right? You live good friends here in Oak Park. You got you got your good girl group. You got your book club, and those relationships are really important too. So like, how do these things work together? Like, how do they fulfill you? How do they fulfill you? Obviously, they fulfill you in different ways. Every relationship fulfills people in different ways. Right. But like, so I wonder about like, because you guys do such an incredible job. You put in the work to maintain that relationship. Yeah. And I don't think that's something that I personally have done with people from my past. Like, I'm just again becoming friends with people I went to college with.
Yeah.
Right? And
well,
I'm
I'm just again becoming friends with the people I went to high school with. It's fucking rad. I think the people from your past that you're good friends with, your college friends, my high school friends, those are just blessed relationships because they knew you from something. They knew you here.
Yeah.
And they will always know you here. And you don't have to be anything different. You can just always be you because there's no judgment.
No.
And you could be, like that's why these high school girlfriends that we've reconnected, just so powerful. It's so freeing.
We're taking a podcast time out because the dogs are acting a little crazy right now, and Harvey looks like he's fully Tony Montana-ing it right now. He ripped open a brand new toy that we bought him at Costco today and just took all the floof out, and now it looks like he's sitting in literally a mountain of cocaine, which, if you want to see the world's best being, a golden retriever, high as F on cocaine is probably not a bad place to go. But unfortunately, the beagle is not loving it, so...
He's fine.
Anyway, we got a little bit of whoopity-whoop. Amazing. So...
Okay.
Yeah.
So you wanted to ask me about like the other friendship groups or just
No, I know. I just
what
I understand the work that you put into the relationship with Tara. Like there is a ton of work there, but it's not work.
It's effortless. It's not work. It's something that I enjoy, and I feel like if her and I are off, if one of us misses a day, it feels a little empty. And she'll go on vacation. Like, okay, just text me every once in a while,
No.
Because we look forward to each other's conversations.
Yeah. Okay.
And your turn. Arlo, what are you trying to get, bud?
Okay, so we continue to struggle with dogs, and we bought some toys at Costco today, and Harvey shredded his already and has a squeaker just sitting there like happily gnawing on the squeaker, and Arlo wants the squeaker. And there's a whole other toy with another squeaker, but it's complicated. This is dog parenting. Anyway,
life with dogs.
By the by. So you've said before, like you said earlier this evening, like how you guys are each other's people, you're your soulmates, like what you get out of this. Like what's the value? Because you put a lot of work into this. And I know you said it's effortless, but you put work into this. Like every day, I know when the email... We're sitting at the kitchen table. We're like reading emails, and then all of a sudden you fire into typing mode, and I know it's like, okay, here's the update, right?
Yep.
Tell me about, because these relationships are important.
Yeah.
And we all know it.
Yeah.
And not a lot of us put in the work, to be fair, right? We don't always put in the work to grow those, to foster, to cultivate those, to make those relationships positive. So like, tell me about the value. Like, what do you get out of that relationship? You said it, you're there, you're a people, blah, 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 blah. Like, what do you get out of it? Like, for you?
It's a truth. There's something so freeing about saying all the things that are in my head, not feeling judged, not feeling bad, just being able to say all the things that circulate through my head and getting it out onto paper. So it's almost like journaling. And her and I have talked about this before. It's like we are each other's diary in a sense.
Okay.
It's like I get to say all the things that maybe I feel fearful about myself, or not just the good things about my kids, but also the bad things about my kids that I feel and fear. Relationships, from the good ones to the bad ones. And there's been a lot of those. And our parents and our siblings, one of the things that's super unique about us is that we're both 8 years older than our youngest sibling.
Okay.
I have Molly. She had Thad. Thad passed away. Yeah. I still have Molly. But that was big, but that was a big connector between the two of us, being an older sibling to somebody that's 8 years younger to you. Like, it's those unique situations that have brought us together, that we understand momentous situations and these relationships that we have with our parents, because we have that together. Like, there's just so many things that we feel.
It sounds like you have a lot of things in common.
We have so much in common. So the value is talking to somebody, writing to somebody that knows you so well because they feel it as deeply as you are. We're both Capricorns. If that means anything. To some people it does, some people it doesn't, but there are a lot of traits that we are very similar with. The value is just, it's just there. Like, I can't imagine a day without her.
You mentioned something that I thought was really pertinent. I want to circle back to. How long did it take for you to figure out, like, this is the person who can speak truth to me? This is the person who knows me on this level. Like, oh my gosh, here are all these things we have in common. How quickly did that happen, or how much did you have to work to get there? Because you met up in college.
Yeah.
You had a lot of fun together. You did a lot of things together, like blah, blah, blah. But, like, at what point did you realize, like, this is the person who I can speak truth with, who understands me because we have all these things in common?
We did a couple of really random road trips from Ashland, where we were going to school at Southern Oregon State.
So this is in college?
Yeah,
okay.
To Reno. And, we spent a lot of late nights just talking about our situations, our parents. And those were, like, just deep conversations that I hadn't had with anybody outside. Like, your high school friends know you for who you are, but they don't know the depths of what your relationship is with your parents. Like, oh, these are your parents, they're super cool, or whatever they think they are. But then when you're in college, you kind of start talking about what those relationships are. Like, you look at it a little bit differently.
Yep.
And so her and I think we started just having these really great conversations. I was in a relationship that shouldn't have been a relationship. And she neglected to tell me she thought that way. And when that relationship ended, and she, eventually said how she felt about it, like, we can never do that again. And that was, like, a moment that we both had, like, it doesn't matter if it's going to hurt or not. We have to tell each other the truth. And that was, like, a moment for both of us. Just be like, doesn't matter. I'm going to tell you how I feel. And we've both done it, and I think it's hurt our feelings. But we've always come out ahead because we've been honest with each other.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Sorry. I'm a little, just choked up. That's amazing. Mm-hmm. Very cool. So, okay. Uh-huh. But so when you find that person, it kind of happens. And I don't think there's any doubt that, like, these I see the work you put in. And having now met and spent some quality time with Tara and Bob. Yeah. And honestly, the closest I've come to being in a fight in the last 20 years was,
Not with Bob.
No, I wasn't going to fight Bob.
No.
Bob and I were going to fight that giant Ukrainian at that bar in Healdsburg.
Shit happens with Tara and I, man.
Well, he was speaking inappropriately of our wives, and I was not having it. And I was ready to be beaten up. I'll die on that hill. Anyway. Another story for another podcast. Yes. Corinna, I think, like, I don't think anyone would debate the idea that having, like, important friendships in your life and meaningful friendships in your life is a bad thing. Mm-hmm. I think you and I talk about this constantly about your life. Life gets in the way of a lot of things. Yeah. Right? We worry about our kids. We worry about our jobs. We worry about our fitness. Well, you worry about your fitness. I worry to a lesser extent about my fitness. But I
worry about your fitness.
You worry about my fitness. You have to worry about two fitnesses.
God damn it, Simon.
So much fitness you have to worry about.
Have you not had the clues?
And so I think, like, we look at how, we say, like, in your head, you're like, oh, I'm so gosh darn busy. Like, I don't have time. And yet, every day, you make time.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so worthwhile. 100%. So much value. And again, like I said, I've met Tara. I get it. Not obviously on the level that you get it, but I understand.
I think it's not work. I think if she lived down the street her and I would be running together every morning doing the exact same thing. We always talk about this. Like if we were having coffee together, these are the things that we would be talking about. We're just, unfortunately, we don't live in the same state or same time zone. So this is the way that we make it work. She is going to be my person forever. There's no doubt about that. Like the connection that we've had, the experiences that we have, we just share each other's humor. We think we are on the same level politically, like on everything.
Which is everywhere now.
Yeah, so it's like all the things that are important that we touch on. It's just amazing, and I feel very fortunate that I have a lot of really good friends. But Tira is she's the top.
Yeah, right.
She's the top dog, man.
Yeah.
She's the best of the best, and I talk about all the different groups that I kind of have cultivated over the last few years, and I feel like I get something from every one of them. I have my book club friends. I have from my kids were in kindergarten, and here are the parents' friends, and then I have these other random groups that I feel very fortunate to be part of, and I get something from everybody. The running group, and my girls that push me physically and encourage and challenge me. It's like I feel very, very fortunate.
Shout out Kirsten and Corey. Whoop, whoop. Corinna, I know you're an easy get to be a guest here. Let me finish.
How we got married.
Let me finish. I appreciate you sharing. I appreciate you sharing their stories. Honestly, I know the Tara story, but it's really cool to hear you tell it in a kind of from a slightly different perspective. So let's wrap this up. We're at 41 minutes with dog intervals. Any final thoughts on the wine? Let's go back to the wine real quick. Any final thoughts? Like you said, it's like fine.
It's a very light wine. I do enjoy drinking it. Obviously, I like to drink wine, but it doesn't make me want to spit it out. How's that?
Yeah. Okay. Well, shout out Grammy. On the words of Dump Bucket. Yeah, I feel like at the price, what do we pay for this? Like $24, something dollars at Costco. I feel like we could probably get something similar.
I feel like we shouted out Costco a lot today.
We shouted out Costco a lot. Jim Senegal is one of my favorite corporate leaders.
Yeah, he's good.
Hot dog and a pop for $1.50. Suck it, tariffs. Anyway,
it's a good wine. I will say it's nice, light and crispy, easy to drink.
Well, Corinna, thank you for taking the time out of your Saturday evening to just do this nonsense with me. I can promise you that I won't ask you to do this for at least another 6 months. Unless you really want to.
I like it.
Oh, babe. Yeah, no, it's really cool. Anyway, so this has been Wine a Bit with Simon. My guest today was Corinna Schroeder, my wife. The thing we talked about a Sancerre that we bought at Costco today, the La Garrenne, with this beautiful bunny logo, which we both agreed at a 91 point wine was fine, but possibly a little bit overpriced. We would serve it to Grammy, so we'll give it, but we would only give her one glass, and then we move on. So we're going to give it 1 Grammy. The official rating system of Wine a Bit with Simon is 1 to 5 Grammys. How many glasses would we serve to my mom? So this is going to be a 1 Grammy wine.
BT Dub, yeah.
Yeah,
she is a wine connoisseur.
A connoisseur. She knows what she likes, and she likes what she knows.
Yes.
And there it is. So yeah, that's it. That's our show for this month. Our music was the song is Napa Valley by the Waco Brothers. Go out and download the snot out of all their stuff if you can. They are awesome. And Corinna, one note.
Oh, I was just gonna say, wait for my song because it's gonna be your new theme song.
Oh yeah. Also, yes, we're gonna have
2 glasses and a bottle of wine. I'm gonna sit and drink it all the time. No?
There's more lyrics. Those were more lyrics than you had before.
I know.
You gotta write this stuff down, seriously. All right, everyone. Hey, if anyone's listening out there in the world, thank you so much for taking the time.
Clink, clink.
Clink, clink. Soon. Bye.
Well, I've been drunk 1,000 times. Well, I'm sober up, but there's no reason. this country. So I